hello, my loves. We are in the middle of yet another snowstorm here in New Hampshire, and it is quite cold and dreary. So I thought we would do a little unboxing together today to kind of add a little mystery to the mood with the weather. I am engaged in a beautiful shadow work package with a wonderful client. And this is the Oracle deck that she chose for her journey. So she very lovingly gifted me this Oracle deck. I did not purchase it, it was gifted to me. But I will put the link to purchase the Oracle deck in the description box down below. It is an independently created and crafted Oracle deck, and it's quite beautiful. I think it's going to pair very well with Tourian's Tarot of the Abyss. And I think it would also work very well with Anna's Oracle deck, Oracle of Echoes as well. And I have a feeling there's going to be a nice flow to this as far as working with tarot decks in general. So this is what the box looks like. I love the fact that it doesn't have plastic packaging on it. It arrived very quickly, very timely shipping. And it came with a few lovely stickers for the new moon. There's a card for the new moon and some stickers from her shop, and then there's a little deck interview spread here. What is your strength? What is your weakness? What is the outcome lesson we are working on? So I love that. That's great. And it's a sticker, so you can just put that right in your journal if you would like. So I will read the back to you. This 63 card deck is meant to honor both the grounded and the free sides of your spirit. The simple watercolor paintings are inspired by nature and intuitive to understand. Included with the card is an interpretation booklet and garden spread to help guide you. The Roots and Wings Oracle deck was created by Catherine Riles. I apologize if I've mispronounced her last name. An artist living in the mountains of North Carolina. And as I said, I will put the link to the artist's Etsy shop down below. I'm just gonna come a little bit closer to you. My little Victorian ghost vibe today. Oh, okay, here's the inside of the box. Very pretty. But guys, look at this card backing. The edging, oh, the edging is beautiful. So here it is. I mean, I love the fact that we don't have all that plastic packaging. Oh, it's a beautiful matte velour. It's quite luxurious feeling. So there's the spread, and then the instructions for the spread is on the back. This is nice, very handy if you're new to working with Oracle decks as well. Oh my goodness, this is gorgeous in person. This is so sumptuous. This is like, oh, maybe my favorite cardstock. Wow. Okay, so card size before I get too sidetracked. Rider-Waite-Smith size, so not too bulky. There's that backing again up close. And then it's definitely a booklet. It's just a little fold out. There's a small about the deck, 2 paragraphs on how to use the deck. And she does say here, the interpretations are only a jumping off point for you, so feel free to create your own. This is definitely a deck that you could have a dedicated journal for and really develop your own system with. And I do have a video on how to do that on the channel. You definitely get a couple sentences for each card. For instance, the bound card. This restriction is coming from you and is holding you back from opportunity, connection, or expression. Don't be afraid to let yourself go and see your potential. So it is a nice jumping off point, but definitely just a jumping off point. However, it's an Oracle deck, so you can really develop your own system with it. So let's see what we've got for the cards. Oh, it's almost like on camera, it looks kind of coppery, but in person, it's almost this gorgeous maroon with gold spackling on it. It's not really showing up, but it's gorgeous edging to these cards. Absolutely beautiful. Okay, so we have the Abundance card. Oh, I like authenticity. Authenticity. Balance. Ooh, that one's interesting. That one's almost kind of, it looks almost ominous in a way. That one's interesting. That one's going to be interesting. Oh, I like Blind. Ooh. You know what this would work well with too? The Luminous Void Tarot. Which I have to do a video on that. Oh, I like that one. And the Vindur Tarot. I haven't talked about that deck in a little while, but I love that deck, guys. Oh, this would work really, really well for that. That's lovely. Community. Oh, look at the crafty card. That is so sweet. Here's the Death card. Direction. Oh, I like that one. The Divine. The Dreamer. Oh, drifting. You know, it's so funny. I've been thinking a lot about going canoeing down the Saco River in Maine when I was young lately. And now I've got this image here too. Duality. Earth Mother. Oh, I love this Father. Boy, that brings up a lot, doesn't it? Look at the color in that. Fire. Good Fortune. This artist has a beautiful way with greens. The way that they work with the color green in their watercolor is quite lovely. This is reminding me a lot of the Vindur deck in a good way, not in a copying way or anything like that. And I don't think it's the same artist, but I will double check myself on that. There's something quite dreamy about watercolor artwork, isn't there? Healer. Love that snake there. Held. Home. Oh, I like this one, Hope. You know what else this would work well with is Sandra Kuhn's Messenger Oracle. I think the imagery in this deck would lend itself well to that. Inner Vision, that's beautiful. You could even work with this with the Earthbound Oracle if you wanted to. Oh, I love this one, Instinct. It does very much feel like camping in the summer, for sure. At least in New England, just the colors and I mean lots of the imagery, the canoes, the tents. There's something quite, there's a touch of the feral to camping in New England in the summer, but still safe, you know? It gives you a little sense of life a long time ago. But you still have that safety net of the campground site, you know? But you do listen to nature in a different way when you're right out in the middle of it. This deck has a quiet voice, but it's adventurous. It feels comfortable in its own skin in a way. It's like a cup of tea where the tea is almost steeped too much, but not quite. It's just on that edge. And, you know, when you have a day, kind of like today, where you get to slow down and be a little bit reflective, this deck has that feeling to me. Not quite full crone, not quite full mother, almost that liminal in-between space between mother and crone, if that makes sense. And I like the earthiness in the greens and the browns blending into black. It really gives it a groundedness and earthiness. So it's not ethereal in nature. This doesn't feel quite ethereal in nature to me. It feels more grounded, earth-based, almost, yeah, southwest if I were on the wheel, in between, maybe not quite southwest, but maybe that area of the wheel from the south to the west to the north, that whole half of the wheel. This deck definitely holds that space from summer into winter. Yeah, late summer. Oh, I love this. That one's beautiful. The Perseverance card is gorgeous, and not just because I'm a Taurus sun. And I think this could be worked with quite easily from a perspective of daily draws as well. Like I don't think this will only be a clarifier in my collection. I do think that there is other space, another place for this deck. It's not only a one quite specific tool within the kit, you know? I think you could work with this in multiple ways. It would make a nice traveling deck. Sorry guys, my voice is still a little bit off from that cold last week. Yeah, I think you could work with this in a myriad of ways. And so it's a deck that would get a lot done. Strength card. The Sun. And you can definitely see how there's a tie into certain tarot cards. Oh, I like this one. I like the Time card. Transformation. Some of the, like the Grounded card and the Transformation card, are almost a little unsettling for me. And as a goth, Victorian, dark academia, horror-loving girl, I wouldn't think I would feel so kind of disquieted by these images, but those two are definitely like, having some interesting feelings come up with those two. And then we have the Union card, the Voice, oh, I like this one, the Void. And look how it pairs with that one, Vulnerability. Nice use of symbolism, but not overwhelming. Similar to, okay, I love this one. I especially love this one. Similar to the Empty Cup Oracle. I love these slightly different depictions of owl that have become really popularized. Oh, this is lovely too. And I like the Worker. Oh, that's gorgeous, especially with the way the light's shifting there. And then the final card here being the World. So I really actually love a lot of the imagery in this deck. Like I'll show you, I put aside some of my faves. These two, the Time card, Potential. I really liked Perseverance and Inner Vision, as well as Hope and Held. And at the beginning of the deck, before I was like, oh, you know what, I'm gonna, because I have a divide between what I'm liking and what I'm not liking in this deck. So but it's not like I hate it. It's more just like a preference. These three right here, oh my goodness, these are like a gorgeous triptych. I would almost frame those. Those are beautiful. My not quite so favorite aspects of this card would be more like these kind of garland depictions. And yeah, like I don't really love these, but that's more because I just don't prefer this style of artwork. And something about the wreathing there, because there's a few images with this wreathing effect, just not quite my favorite. And I just don't like this type of artwork personally. That's a total personal thing. However, I do get the feel for the card title in the artwork in every single card. So from that perspective, this is going to make a great working deck for me. And the images that were disquieting for me, I'm really intrigued to meditate and journal with. And then there's so many cards like this that I just really love. Here we have the wreathing again, but not so much in that almost folk art floral way, but more in this earth stone way. So that's going to be interesting to contrast with more of like the garland florals, and then these kind of community images as well. So there's a lot to play with here. This is a very robust deck. Like I said, it's almost like summer, like late summer into, sorry guys, my voice, late summer into straight on full on winter with the imagery. And I do feel like it's that beautiful in-between space of mother and crone. It kind of straddles both of those spaces of the sacred feminine really beautifully. So I'm very intrigued to play with this, and it's a bit precocious, but it knows who it is. That's what it feels like to me. This is going to be really interesting to work with. This is another example of a deck I wouldn't have necessarily been drawn to purchase on my own, but through a mentorship or a shadow work package, I'm getting a chance to connect with this deck. Those kind of decks often become ones that are lifelong friends. So I'm really intrigued to work with this one, and I'm definitely going to let you guys know what I think. Right off the bat, I do think it would pair well with Tourian's Tarot of the Abyss. The Vindur deck, I think I have volume 4, right guys, if I recall correctly. I think it would pair very well with the Luminous Void, and it would make a really nice contrast in theme to a deck like the Night Sun Tarot, which is so like visceral and occult in its essence, to pair with this very fluid watercolor feel could give a nice contrast. Another deck this would work well with is Tarot of the Dream Enchantress. So I'm going to try some of those out, some of those pairings, and play with that. But even though it's that kind of more ethereal watercolor in its medium, it actually feels very earthy and grounded in its essence to me. So I don't think it's a deck that's going to be about dreams. I think it's more a deck that's about creation, which is kind of exciting, right? It's a beautiful time of year to be working with creation energy. We just had Imbolc, we're moving into Astara, one of my favorite Sabbats. It's beautiful. So I'm very excited to work with this. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. And as I said, I will include the link to the artist's website in the description box. And I will double check and make sure that this is not the same artist who made the Vindur Tarot. But I will put a link to the Vindur Tarot down below as well, if that is still available for purchase, because I do think that they would make really nice companions with each other. So I am sending you guys, as always, oceans of love, and you know I will see you in the next video. Take care.